So here it was first set up. This is one, there's 6 layers. You're seeing 2 here. Here I was setting it up at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology in Melbourne as part of an exhibition called Dada is Nothing with Prof. Adam Nash, just to give you an idea of, you know, that's the fire layer. That's not here, but you get some idea about that. Okay, so I'll try and go through some of these. So basically, the idea was this was going to be for Venice, a really big giant wall where this is the basic kind of image I would be making, but it would be based on real-time data from the environment and the ecosystem. It would be translated into something inspired by Venetian glass. That was the inspiration. But it would move, and it would be a bit like the mood of the planet, where, you know, once you understand how it's mapping, you have this, it's trying to also bring out some emotion, the heart in all of this. So I'll just show you, this is what it looks like close up. So I'll just, you know, go through some of these, and it would, you know, would be moving. I'm not going to spend a long time on these, but it's just to give you an idea. So taking real data from the planet and visualizing it, it's basically scientific visualization with global data and merging that with other historical and cultural media forms. Like I said, the Venetian glass. So here's a few other ones that I'm working on now with the Balinese, working very closely with them in terms of the symbolism and the color, including the abstraction. And I'm always worried that it may be the wrong thing. And they keep telling me, no, you got the color, So they keep encouraging me, and I'm really touched by that. So let me get past this, just to give you an idea. And I have thousands of these. So what happens is that the turbulence is computed from a single point over thousands of frames at extremely high resolution. And then I go and look in at little portions of it. And I can't see the animation. But I need the animation because it draws, you know, frame by frame. And so I have thousands of these huge images, and you're only seeing a few. I can only print them. I can only look at it currently as a print because it's so big. But anyway, so, and then the interior world, the world of words, and in this case, words hang in the air, as my mother used to say. And sometimes they cause great emotional stress, other times they can create incredible joy. And so the other worlds that I'm talking about are these worlds that are the depths of each person, each individual person. If we're going to have really good, sensitive, smart media, we have to be able to allow entry for people with those feelings. Now, I'm speaking for myself in this case, but I look forward to, you know, I mean, that's why we're in schools and in museums, and why we're developing open source, because, you know, we need to leave entry for each individual so we can understand them better, and so we can find a way to be more open and compassionate. Other people have spoken more about that, more eloquently than me today. But just know that that's the same thing that is motivating me. I'm trying to move quickly here. So there, you see, we went from that at 60,000 by 40,000 to, you know, what's out there. Okay, so, and the other part of it is the winds of other places touch us. You know, to take the turbulence that you're seeing in the wave, there's this wave that's there. That's actually temperature and wind data that you're seeing from 5 different biomes. And also the wind, that wind is, we don't have it set up here because we only have part of it set up, goes into fans, and the fans actually blow it. So it's the idea, so it's kind of, it's meant to be poetic. You know, it's like air visualization, if you will, you know. I mean, it's feeling the air, feeling the winds of other places on the planet. Touches us in a different way. And we need to be touched in different ways. So that's part of it. As I mentioned, there are 6 layers of 4 two-sided fabrics with electronics embedded, and they were all 1 meter apart so that you would be touched by them. It's a very tactile piece. Out here we have 2, but the original piece is 6 layers in the same space. And then as you move through it, what you feel that it's very tactile. So that's what I'm saying, it's going back to that. So let me see. And inside there are LED strips. Yeah. And again, I'm working with the Internet of Things. Here we are spraying them with fire retardant, which is one reason why we have 2 layers and not 6. We weren't sure that we'd be able to show them all, but luckily Ludger made magic and got that fire retardant, and other people helped us. And he also got us a sprayer. And it did change the color. It got much darker, like 2 shades darker, and stiffer, so the fabrics aren't as soft anymore. But still, it's that, you know, it's actually amazing. It's still there. And I'm very grateful that it all worked. But there's something important. Somebody talked about, one of the speakers was talking about the women in Australia who, when they were in solitary confinement and tortured, only thing they could do was go to sleep. Well, this piece came during this time when I was extremely unhappy. And I realized I'm making blankets. You don't realize sometimes as an artist why you're doing something till afterwards. It's not just that I want it to be tactile for the audience. There's something redemptive, something cathartic, something that brings us back to who we are as human beings. And so that's a part of this as well, to heal us from all kinds of trauma. And, you know, although this may not do that for other people, that's what it did to me, for me. And I'm hoping that people will feel it, you know? And it's meant to be this comforting, you know, healing from trauma kind of work as well. So when we have but as I mentioned, there's online, this is online, where you can see what it's actually showing. Let me see, Naga said I could do this. Right, so if you want to know, you know, the waveforms, there are two fabrics, and each of the waveforms is actually color-coded into the current wind and temperature conditions of the different biomes, and these cities are in those biomes. Let's see if I can update it. Let's see if I can find the mouse. Oh, there it is. Okay. Uh-oh. Hello. Phoenix. Oh, that's where my house is. And Singapore. Okay, so if you're curious about which one is doing what, it's not just random. You can go to this site and find that out. Okay, now let's see if I can find the next slide. Okay, did it go? Oh, I see. I have to minimize it. There, okay. Now, okay. So, right, I already said most of that. And I just want to emphasize Professor Galina Mihalova helped work with me and her students on the fabrics. And I even recruited the anthropologist, Professor Stephen Lansing, as well. So it's like really a lot of people worked on those fabrics. I just want you to know. So here's what they were: the universe, wind, fire, water, earth, and poetry. And the idea of the poetry is not only the personal part of it, but the idea coming from Asia, and especially Bali, is that the gods exist in the letters of the poem. The gods exist in the images that we make. Everything we make has the gods. The gods are very playful. And so there needs to be, in this piece, a place for that. So that's this one layer that's there. Of course, it exists in all the layers, but it's emphasized in that layer. Okay, so those are the colors, and interpolated from in between. So if you see the color, that's what it means. Okay, and these are the 5 biomes: the dry desert, the tropics, the Arctic, the savanna, and the rainforest, looking for air temperature and wind speed. Okay, and there you have that. You've seen that, right? And okay, so I'm sure everybody's seen it. So finally, that's what we're doing. Wearables, textiles, in the textiles tradition, the idea is to feel the world tactily, working with sustainable design, organic technologies, again, all to humanize the technology, make it more organic and more in harmony with nature and humanity. And we're working also on, with the Asian School of the Environment on related projects, including on methane and how to bring that into this kind of visualization to help communicate through our artwork the condition of the planet in ways that people can both be inspired, be and contemplative, and as well critical, but in a way that leads to some positive outcomes. We created in the ADM NTU Loom Lab, Laboratory of Open Matters, with Galina, Pirsatik, myself, and again, mainly working on ways to highlight, the big thing is climate change and sustainability. And it's mainly interdisciplinary, and people collaborate across science, humanities, engineering, and design. So that's the original team. I think Pier's not in there, though. And Naga is always involved in this as well. So here's the thing. Now I've been working with cancer immunology. It turns out feeling good is good. Feeling bad is bad. And art is not actually passive. It affects our immune system. It's also anything we do with technology. You know, I agree with the earlier speakers, you know, reflects, it's a template for thinking. So it's not passive, it's not good, bad, or indifferent. I think an earlier speaker said that. I totally agree with that. But it also affects our body. Stress is inversely proportional to the immune response. As stress goes up, immune response goes down. So I'm working on these same things that I was talking about are now going to go into a cancer patient treatment center with biofeedback and see how that works. So make art, not war. Art is redemptive. We want to keep humanizing it, not just humanizing it, but really using it to not then go back out and help try to save the planet, really. That's the big crisis. So always in support of life. Okay, thank you.